IQ Air. Basically, they're monitoring air quality index in Youngstown, Ohio. Right now, it's set to moderate pollution. So we're like 51. We're at parts per million is 2.5 parts per million concentration of pollutants in the air, which is 2.4 times higher than the World Health Organization's annual air quality guideline value. But one of the things...
And we do have a cold front, low pressure system. So
yeah. But then something else you can kind of look at, too, is this is coming from airnow.gov. They're saying we're at 55. So they're calling us a little bit higher than what this IQ Air is looking at. But this IQ Air is an independent company, and people have air monitors that they set up in the area. And when you look at it on the map,
so
the
I've seen
closest
those.
one
They
to
have
us...
base stations that basically they're all fenced in. They're solar panel. They're tied into the grid. All that stuff, and they got the weather vane and they got the air cups, and they basically have a sniffer.
Yeah.
You know, some guy goes out there, changes the filter and whatever.
But that one's not even in Youngstown, technically.
They're spectrum analyzers.
It's over by West Middlesex. It's not really in Youngstown.
Okay, yeah.
And then, like, they actually have another one that's set to, like, just upwind from East Palestine. It's set to 74 right now. So that's the closest one. If you look at, like, kind of where East Palestine is.
So that's where it's sitting right now. It's 74, which is obviously more than 2.5 times what the National Health Organization says is
yeah, and you can kind of see the way the wind is trending.
Yeah, it's literally blowing.
It's blowing right out of
East
that
Palestine to that sensor.
Yeah, and then
that's a current read, but you would be able to check a historic read, right?
They might have trends on here, like you see even
it's like
south of that, it's 75. You know,
and that's a good place to set them. I see they have a higher concentration of that near what is it, East Liverpool?
Yeah.
Oh, that's accessible.
Rochester, that's
that incinerator. So here's the history of that incinerator.
Oh, look at this one, 155.
Back in what was it, 93-ish?
155. Where's that?
Pittsburgh. That's pretty rough.
Yeah. Higher population density, more vehicles.
Yeah. Unhealthy air.
Yeah, unhealthy. 155.
And in Pittsburgh, 155.
Yeah. So I don't know what I know what people are bitching about. They see the dramatic footage, and it is an immediate effect. But overall, when you think about it, that dissipates pretty rapidly. Mm-hmm. That's why it was a controlled release. But
I wonder what the air quality in Hiroshima is.
Now, sure it's fine.
It's a pretty industrial city.
Oh, and then here are the photos. Here are the photos.
There are years. Send me those.
I'll send them.
But there are
years. From his house?
This is from Taylor's house, and then he walked down to see it as the fire was raging.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's from his house.
But there are years of my life, months at a time, that I spent downwind from oil refineries in pretty austere environments. And the sulfur dioxide just in that environment is considered unhealthy, and it goes into your blood and it creates a lot of health problems. But burn pits, all these things. This is going to be
burn pit's really bad.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be one of those trends. I remember there was a burn pit in Kirkuk, Fob Warrior. This is back in 2006. We're out there, and the Iraqis are digging through the scrap
Taylor
piles.
says get fucked, by the way. Tell Loftus get fucked.
Oh, happy Valentine's to you. Yeah. Air quality.
That's tight. That is tight. You do need to get fucked.
Virgin right there. But anyways, what I'm getting at is while the Iraqis are digging through trying to salvage things from the scrap piles, we're talking about like tentage equipment and shit like that. Basically everything we were burning and throwing away, they're like literally running into that shit. I remember because you have to pull security because they're Iraqis. But anyways, the Iraqi army's in there getting tents and stuff so they can set up little checkpoints along the pipeline. And while we're out there, I bum a cigarette off some E7. This broad's smoking fucking like Pall Malls and shit. So I'm out. I haven't seen a PX in like a month. So, hey, can I bum a cigarette? Yeah, here you go. And as I'm smoking, I can just taste the fucking metallic, particles in the air. And I'm looking at my hand, and it's literally covered in specks of silver from the aluminum that's burning. And I'm like, well, I guess if
at least this is filtered air, right?
Yeah, filtered. Yeah. I figure if I die from that, hopefully I'm the first, and it's so rare of a disease that they call it Marzullo syndrome. Everybody else gets to die of that. So
I thought Marzullo syndrome is when you have both chlamydia and syphilis at the same time.
Yeah, chlamydia, syphilis, and what's one that begins with an I? As long as it don't begin with an H, I'm fine. I don't give a shit. But, yeah.
Gonorrhea.
Yeah. You got syphilis, gonorrhea, chlamydia, and candida.
He saw that at Simpsons episode where Mr. Burns had all the diseases, so none of them can actually get to him.
Indestructible.
Yeah, he's indestructible.
Indestructible. Yeah. Anyways, when you talk about
Simpsons,
when you talk about
three-eyed fish coming out of that river next.
Well, they probably already have. That'd be upriver in Springfield. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the speaking of air quality and oil fires and such, I remember they had blown up the pipeline, terrorist, and actually it was the SIP. It was the SIP. It was Special Infrastructure Brigade, because they blew it in between two checkpoints, almost perfectly in between it. So you could tell it was the guys who were working at the checkpoint went out and dug down because they knew exactly where to dig on the pipeline, and they set explosives and they blew it. Anyways, it didn't catch fire at that point, but it had ruptured and it had created lakes and rivers of oil, and you could just see this just broad oil just seeping through the ground. And this farmer comes out while we're on patrol surveying, and he goes, hey, it's coming towards my house and my property. This is gonna damage my crops. I'm not gonna be able to grow anything. I'm not gonna be able to feed my family. Blah blah blah. Can I light it on fire? And we're like, fuck no, you can't. So later on that night, he came out and he lit it on fire. So we went out the next day to survey. As one does. And we are literally driving through
that shit.
Hell. It is a lake and river of fire. And we're driving through the middle of this. I want to say that was it was an offshoot of Route Cherry. But as we're driving through this, you can just feel the massive amounts of heat and just you're sucking in this just black fucking dirty air. And all I had was a fucking bandana, and it was so nasty and so bad. I'm talking like talk about the mouth of hell, just lakes and rivers of fire.
But it's all natural, it's coming from the earth.
Well, by the time they got that put out, now here's what's funny. It's still flowing through the pipe, right? Because it's down in that ditch. Why didn't they turn
the fucking thing off?
Because they're fucking Beverly Hillbillies, dude. They don't care. We said, why don't you shut off the oil production? This is coming from the Northern Oil Company. You're talking about...
Why do they have many...
Kirkuk is the fourth largest city in Iraq and the largest oil-producing region in Iraq. You're talking about the Northern Oil Company, the NOC. They're pumping down this oil.
Did no one think to put safety valves?
No.
Like every so many...
Well, they haven't, but enough oil was flowing through at the other end to create a profit. So they didn't care what was spilling out.
Well, so they had a leak, but they were still getting. It was most of it still getting to its destination.
It's still moving through.
Yeah,
but it's siphoning off. The people who would do black market oil trade to either fund and perpetuate terrorism, they'd go out there with an AP round, armor piercing, tungsten carbide with an AK, and they'd just be like, and they'd shoot holes in the fucking oil pipeline that was exposed above ground, right? Because you'll have those runs to do that. Mm-hmm. And there's all kinds of weird shit that used to happen. And they would go out there, they get naked so it wouldn't get on their clothes. And they'd put 55-gallon barrels out there. And they would let it rain in the barrels. And when it was full, they'd cap them off. And then they'd load them on a truck. And they'd truck them up to, Turkey and sell them for, 3 times. Yeah. They'd truck them into Syria, Turkey, and Jordan. And they'd fucking sell that black market oil. By the barrel.
That's a rough life.
Yeah. This one time, smoked some dudes out there. And...
all that for a 12-pack.
Left them there for a week and nobody came to claim them. We had a constant surveillance on them with ISR assets, information, reconnaissance, or surveillance and reconnaissance.
You're probably bloating pretty quick within the first couple hours being so hot. It's like 115 degrees.
So they'd have the drones on them, and one would be reaching the end of its sustainment. They'd put another one on, because it was right out the back of the airfield on Spiker. So you just watch them. Yeah, nobody came to claim them.
They just rotted out there.
I guess they didn't have friends. That's one thing I thought terrorists had over pilots.
Friends?
Yeah. So enough war stories on that, but yeah, I've seen some pretty bad air quality. And, I'm in the registry.
The registry? There's a registry?
Yeah, there's a registry. Yeah, I tick 5 boxes on that fucking thing. That's morose.
So you're getting that special liver
I'm
cancer?
gonna die.
We're all gonna die.
Marzullo syndrome.
Not every man dies.
Yes, but not every man truly lives.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service. East Palestine. East Palestinians.
What a shit.
What a shithole. The water tastes like shit to begin with, but yeah.
It's like back circa 1994.
Sucks for them. Oh, so I can cut this up and I can chop it. What I was going to say about the incinerator in East Liverpool was a lot of people.
Yeah, you never landed that.
No, I never
bird,
did.
You?
So a lot of people don't know this, but back in the 90s, the U.S. had decided to start reducing their stockpile of biological and chemical weapons that they had accumulated over the years.
Mm-hmm.
Where did they store those biological and chemical weapons? Where? Do you know? Think about it. A place so overcast that it was selected so the Germans couldn't bomb it.
Well, this place.
Ravenna Arsenal.
Yeah, Ravenna Arsenal.
Yeah, like 30 minutes away, right? So they were taking these decommissioned warheads, and they had actually moved them down to Kentucky. There were 3 places around. I know one was in Kentucky, one was in Texas.
Is this sensitive information?
No, this is all open source. So what they did was they would take those stockpiled biological and chemical weapons, and they would truck them up, and they would burn them off in East Liverpool. Right?
East Palestine.
No, East Liverpool is where the incinerator is. 15 minutes south of East Palestine. Which way does the wind prevail?
North. It goes north.
Yes. Okay. So then, just recently, I want to say like 2021-ish, remember how they said that there was a fire retardant foam that they could no longer use because it was considered too carcinogenic to put out fires? Yeah. So when they decommissioned that, who do you think had the largest stockpile of that? The U.S. military.
Yeah.
Because you use it to put out jet fuel fires, right?
So they sent it to East Liverpool?
Yeah, so they send it to East Liverpool and they start burning this shit off by the ton, right? This fire retardant foam. It's fire retardant.
But they're burning it.
They're burning it. Because an incinerator has catalytic processes.
Oh, you can incinerate everything.
As long as you get the temperature high enough and you have those catalytic surfaces for it to burn off on the residue, it'll ignite, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it like, basically like where you'll have a fire burning at 800 degrees, just wood, if you put a catalytic surface on it, it'll ignite the smoke and it'll burn at 1,000 degrees, right?
Right.
So now we're talking about stuff that's, right? So they're burning fire retardant foam and pink smoke is bellowing out and people were losing their shit. So there used to be billboards down there protesting the incinerator, you know? But this is a big issue now.
I wonder what the air quality was.
7 years ago in West Virginia, when the train derailed and was burning crude oil, like nobody talks about that. 2 years ago, it happened in Nebraska. If you looked at how many trains derail around America and Canada, like Canada went nuts. After Montreal, you're not allowed to use fucking DOT 111s for carrying oil through there anymore. That's why they were so adamant about constructing the pipeline. But,
yeah, too bad that pipeline.
Yeah, it never matriculated. I don't know if that's the word, but
oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, as things go, there are so many.
That's a whole nother conversation about why that pipeline. Because you need to rail it now.
Yeah. Well, the rails has a monopoly. You don't think they had lobbyists? You don't think they had lobbyists in there saying, "Hey, yeah, who owns stock in the railroads?" You know, you check out the stock price right now on.
Did you see the guy named Unusual Whale?
No, I did. Yeah.
He follows all the transactions.
Whales, as in traders who make money.
He follows like senators and
Congress, because the insider trade.
And he does it. He piggybacks that on what the agenda is during that term in Congress.
Yeah,
and you could see
it's all tied together.
How they're buying and selling, and it all has to do with what they're about to.
But if you look at Norfolk Southern stock,
okay.
I'll bet you it's probably still above $250 a share. It took maybe a little dip, but I think it was $268 last I checked earlier this week.
Who? What stock?
Okay, so it's actually dipped. $242. If you watch where Norfolk Southern Corporation stock is trending, look at it 5 days. Up top. See how it's trending down? Look
Yeah.
at 1 month. You'll see a sharper curve down, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, February 3rd was when the train derailed. But if you buy that stock when it gets down to maybe, if it goes below 200, I'd be surprised. It's definitely going to rebound. They have a market cap of like $52 billion annually. They're not.
The lowest it got in 6 months was $237.
Yeah, if they
The
dip
highest
down
it
to
was
200,
$242.
if they dip down to 200, buy.
It's at its highest today.
Yeah.
Wow.
What's your stock doing?
My stock?
Yeah.
I'm going to cash it out. I'm never going to pay taxes for the rest of my life. I'm going to take the third of what I invested, and then I'm going to go to that factory and I'm going to burn it in the middle of the fucking floor. That's how my stock's doing. For Christ's sake.
I'm not going to pay taxes the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Speaking of taxes, I got my taxes done the other day.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What'd you pay?
I didn't know this time. I got my
No, what'd you pay for the service?
Oh, I think it was total of with the state and the federal.
No. What'd you pay for the service to get them to do it? Oh, you're talking about they did your state and federal.
I did the taxes.
You did your taxes.
I do my taxes.
I don't. I have 3 kids, and
I was gonna
Still
say
on debt.
you'll see a bigger return usually if you
Understood.
pay the like $35 or $75 for some
I
guy.
paid. What do you call it?
They'll have some dude dressed up as a Statue of Liberty twirling the
Yeah,
sign.
Jesus
just walking.
Christ! How much they got to pay a guy?
I think one of that.
Because I would never listen. Listen to me.
A rotisserie chicken.
You can't pay me enough to get into a fucking costume
Yeah.
and twirl a fucking sign around.
Some guy on stilts dressed up like Uncle Sam.
You can't pay me enough. You can't fucking do it.
No.
I wouldn't be caught dead in front of this fucking.
I don't get out of bed for less than
How
25
much they
an hour.
paying that guy? Honestly, I want to know. What do you think? Google this. Honestly, I want
Sign
to know.
twirlers.
How much do you think they pay?
A sign twirler's probably making. They're probably giving him $8.
Does
an
it?
hour.
Hold on.
$8
How
an
much
hour.
does a sign twirler make per hour?
$14.06 per hour.
Get
$14.
the fuck out of here.
Yeah, no benefits. Degrade yourself. That's average. That's average.
Do you think
That's like the guy in
that a
San
sign
Francisco. That's San
twirler in San
Francisco
Francisco
prices. Yeah,
gets
he's
paid more than one
he
of
probably.
those?
Yeah. Oh, I guarantee. If that's the average, a sign twirler in San Francisco.
How long,
stores
on
here,
average, do you think
Fucking
a
guarantee.
guy's shift is for sign twirling?
4, easy.
4 hours.
Dude, I drove past a guy during tax season before.
Do you think he could get?
He
the
was
fuck,
he
do
was
you
out
think
there
he
on
could just
Market
leave?
Street for fucking 8 hours straight.
I almost hit one of those people on Market Street one time, right down there where that Rite Aid is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and he was dressed up like the
the
Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, because they got that. They got like a rent-a-center there that's always got its truck parked on the street,
Yeah,
and this dude.
and
was
you got to
kinda-
go around.
You
it.
got to go around.
The Uptown,
Yeah,
Yeah,
right there.
yeah. This dude's fucking standing there.
The Rite Aid is no longer a Rite Aid.
Oh,
It's
what
like
is
the
it?
fucking
Yeah.
Childhood Academy or some shit,
Yeah, well,
right? Wasn't it?
Banner Supply. That's
yeah. Okay.
like
good,
movie.
good landmark.
Yeah.
Good landmark.
You know they tore down JJ's.
Yeah.
And
Good riddance.
and
And
Mickey's.
Mickey's. Good riddance.
So anyway,
That means
I'm
all my
driving
DNA
down Market
is
Street,
gone.
and it's on that corner. Was that Indianola?
Yeah.
So the corner Indianola Market.
Yeah.
They got a sign twirler out. Well, not the guy's dressed like the Statue of Liberty. They got a little tax shelter there, and then they've also got the Rent-A-Center with the big truck there.
Mhm.
Call it a tax shack.
Tax shack.
Tax shelters
We've
for
gone
like,
over
yeah,
this
yeah, yeah.
already. We
when you
understand.
invest in like poor
So-
housing.
Now what happens?
Well, he steps out into the fucking road on the other side of the truck. I just slammed on my brakes, almost took him out. We got the green light. I start
Almost.
driving. He's standing there in the street, steps out from behind the truck as I'm coming toward him.
Ah.
I just slam on the brakes. I'm like, get the fuck out of the road! He's just like, "Woo."
So would you say you missed him?
Probably spooked him a little.
So
Oh, he was spooked, all right.
yeah,
Cut.
scared as fuck. Just scared as fuck. He shit his pants.
Any other topics you guys would like to breach?
Oh, not particularly.
We could just, I mean, we're just talking.
Yeah, bullshit.
Like,
Streaming services.
what about it?
Yeah.
It's Netflix.
Yeah. So you have a shit ton of
Of all
streaming
of the
services.
streaming services.
I house sat
I
for
got
him
them all.
watching the dog.
Yeah.
Like, if you searched
I don't
something
want
that
to
you
say
wanted
I'm,
to see,
I don't want to say I'm wealthy.
he had it
but-
available. You have what? You have
I don't
Netflix,
fucking
Hulu,
know. Netflix,
Amazon.
Hold on. Ready?
You have any premium channels
Hold
on
on.
Amazon?
Let me
HBO
go.
Max.
Yes, let me go on. I have 2 Amazons, 2 Netflix, 2 Paramount Pluses,
Why two?
You need to cut. You need to
2
trim that shit
HBO
down, dude.
Maxes, Do you know why? Because she brought all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now she still pays for hers, and I still pay for mine.
Stop.
It's like they're waiting to call each other's bluffs, like we're going to break up, and I'm not losing my fucking Netflix.
Yeah, I ain't losing my Netflix account. I've done this shit once already.
Yeah.
No, so
All right, so you have not just an eclectic of streaming services.
do
You
you
have
need-
multiples of the
You
same
need some
streaming services.
logins?
No,
mean,
I don't do.
maybe some logins.
Here's why I don't do that, and this is what we're going to get to. How many do you have?
Disney.
Disney, Apple.
Right.
No, I don't
Are
do
you?
Apple.
Hold on. Are
That's
you?
the one I don't do.
Are you spooked because the authorities might get you?
No, it's not.
I have
about that.
Disney. I have Amazon Prime. I have ESPN Plus. I have Hulu. I have Netflix, Paramount Plus, Peacock,
You could probably spend less on
Yeah.
cable
HBO Max.
and get all the stream.
Yeah.
I also pay for Pandora Premium. I also pay for Amazon Unlimited Music. I also pay for Sirius Satellite Radio in our cars.
Oh,
And how many OnlyFans are you subscribed to?
None at the moment.
Okay, good. I know you're not, but but how much do you pay? How much do you reckon you pay a month for that? Because mine's included with my Amazon.
I have no fucking clue, dude.
See, this is why
It
you
comes
guys.
out.
See, this is
At least. Oh, I also Xbox Live. We got that.
Yeah, I got Xbox Live.
Yeah.
$1.99.
you guys work your asses off, and you're paying like
I would say I pay at least 150
Yeah,
bucks.
I was gonna say
150
160.
bucks.
I'm
subscriber
probably
services.
at 75.
Probably 150 bucks in subscriber
Mine's included
services.
in my Prime, right? I got the Netflix family thing going. They're
Are you
gonna
trying to
put the
big dick us,
kibosh
or
on this. No, I'm
You
telling
big
you.
dicking us?
Here's what I'm getting at. It's winter,
Yeah.
right? I've been working out because I ran out of streaming shit to do.
We'll
I-
give you
I
our
have
subscription.
given
I don't
you-
want your subscriptions.
I have given
let me tell you what
plenty
I've-
of
let me
things
tell
to
you
watch.
what I've
You're
done
like, oh,
this-
he's got,
Yeah.
he's got a World War II movie. I don't want to watch it.
I don't want to watch any graphic depictions of warfare anymore. I start getting flashbacks.
I know, but
Start breathing heavy and
they're
sweating in my
okay.
living room.
They're okay.
You can only masturbate so many times.
Yeah,
a day.
I gotta go live in the fuck. I gotta go shut
balls are
myself in the
empty.
fucking
Okay.
closet.
Listen, I'm just,
Well, here's what I'm getting at. In my desperation,
Yeah.
I've went over to the free streaming services, which are even worse.
What's free streaming?
Oh no.
services?
I have.
Pluto, Freevee, Tubi.
Yeah, they're out there.
Freebie has some good
Yeah.
documentaries.
I don't-
I've been
they
watching
do.
a lot of
I don't
documentaries.
fuck with
So-
those free streaming services, but one of the things I do quite enjoy is this. Because I have a Samsung TV, it comes standard. It's like Samsung TV Plus. It's like all these weird, almost cable channels.
Yeah.
That they're not really cable channels.
Yeah.
They have like one that's just funny dog videos all day. But they're not that funny. Like, not funny enough that they would actually give them like America's Funniest Videos or like Tosh or like ridiculousness.
They're like
Just
this.
borderline.
Schmitty.
Oh, look, he's blind.
Hey, Schmitty. Hey, buddy.
So-
hey, buddy.
But then they have like random TV
So that's the
channels.
That's the kind of stupid
Yeah.
videos you post.
Pointless videos. But they do have like random movie channels that's like old timey movies that are in black and white that like basically the rights to them have expired, so they just
Yeah.
steal them and put them on their channels.
Yeah.
And then they have also things kind of like how like Sirius will have like the Garth Brooks channel that's just Garth Brooks music all the time. They'll do that, but it'll be like a show. It'll be like the Walking Dead
Lord.
channel where they're just playing Walking Dead episodes, but not in like an order, so that you could just sit
Oh.
there and watch consecutively.
Why
like,
would it be?
I'm getting boned up by Walking Dead. They're just like, this week it's going to be Rick's favorite best hits
Yeah,
or some shit. So
flashback.
it's like they'll play like just random episodes
Like
with a
here's
theme.
But
season
you don't
2, episode
watch
3.
Freevee.
No.
But you do watch Freevee.
Because I do, but I watch it through Amazon Prime,
Yes.
and they have some good World War II documentaries
Do you know how Freevee
or
got
Civil
me?
War. I watch.
You want to know how Freevee got me?
Hmm.
X-Files. I watched X-Files since 1993 when it came out. I've seen every episode.
Did you see the new
multiple times.
movie?
The new one?
Well, maybe
I
it's
saw the
not
X-Files
new.
movie. I got it on DVD.
Maybe it's an old movie.
Well, what I'm getting at is I've seen every episode to include like when they restarted it in 2016, right?
But didn't they have a movie to end it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
After the series was canceled,
But
they did a
what I'm
movie.
getting at is they had the series cancellation in like 2007 or something like that, and then they brought back the series in 2016. They reopened the X-Files. What I'm getting at is I'm a lifelong fan of that show.
Yeah.
I watched it through and through when
Never
it was
got
on
into
Netflix,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So Freebie has actually made me hate that show. What are the commercials you always see on Freebie?
They're bullshit. It's all
What
bullshit.
are they?
Well, let me guess. I don't have Freebie, but I'm gonna wager a guess because there are some streaming services that I do subscribe to, and it seems like they want to show you like pharmaceutical products.
Pharmaceutical
Yes.
products.
And it's
And
like,
Liberty Mutual.
And yeah, Liberty.
It's
What
Truvada
is-
for prep.
Yeah. Truvada, Biktarvy.
Yeah.
What other pharmaceuticals?
I don't know, but some of them are like,
Anti-anxiety.
I saw one that was
I'm
for,
anxious because I have HIV and I think I might die.
Yeah, no. I saw
We
a good
take
one.
this.
Good reason to be
Hold on,
anxious.
give me a moment here.
But
May I have the floor?
Go
I
ahead.
did see one
I've
that
been
was.
anxious and I didn't even have it. I'm sorry.
No, the one I saw that kind of cracked me up, and it kind of, you blank out when these are on, like, let me look at my phone, I'll see if I got anything going on. One just sucked me back in because all the side effects, I was like, what the fuck
The
is
side
this
effects
medicine?
are worse than the goddamn.
Yeah,
What you're
the
trying to
cure
cure
is worse than the disease.
Yeah.
Like, this, I was like, do you have ulcerative colitis? I was like, no,
Yeah.
I don't. Let me put
Hey,
it on my phone.
yeah, I
And
don't
it's
even know
like-
what ulcerative colitis is.
It's like, if you see this, that,
It's
or the
swelling
other,
in the
Crohn's
lungs or the
disease, blah, blah, blah,
intestines.
blah. Take this medicine and you'll get to live a normal, healthy, happy life. And I'm like, okay. And then I start hearing the side effects, and they're fucking horrifying. Sudden death,
Yeah.
like anal leakage,
Yeah.
Yeah.
bleeding from the gums
Yeah.
and the
Big
ears,
con-
and
I'll take the
Brittle
ulcer
bones.
colitis.
brittle bones.
I'll take the colitis.
Increased risk of cardiovascular heart attack, like just.
Oh, I
What the
can't.
fuck?
I can't
Be
eat.
a man.
I
Take
can't
some
eat-
Imodium
Yeah,
AD.
I can't
Yeah.
eat shellfish and red meat.
Just-
I love shellfish and red meat so much. I need.
Yeah,
that.
dude, like they're
Yeah.
fucking horrifying. Yeah, so no.
Terrible.
And then they
That's
give me
freebie.
anxiety because then I start thinking, do I have ulcerative colitis? I'm
Not
gonna
you.
fucking look this
Well,
up.
here's
I
the
gotta
thing.
look
You
it
don't
up.
do that.
No.
Prep commercial after prep commercial after prep commercial. Who is the target demographic for this?
Well,
Other than AIDS patients.
it's always two dudes.
Yeah.
It's all seriously. It's always two dudes on the commercial on a pier fishing.
Yeah.
Now we know that's a lie.
Or no, it's
That shit
like
ain't
some
happening.
What is this?
swarmy
medicine?
looking like
Truvada for
dude.
prep.
What-
They say, hey, take this Truvada, then you can go bang a dude
And,
and then not get AIDS.
is it
Maybe.
AIDS? Is that what it's for? AIDS?
HIV.
HIV.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
So
it
if
was
you
for
have
herpes.
undetectable levels,
Right.
and
So
or
you
your
take
lover has undetectable levels, you are not diagnosed with HIV. You take the PrEP pill so that when he forcibly sodomizes you in the anus,
Which is there's a lot of ripping and
yes,
tearing.
ripping and tearing and
And
Blood vessels
semen.
very
blood,
close.
yes.
to
Yeah.
the-
when he inundates you with his infected load, you're not
Phallus,
going
yeah.
to get HIV.
I know how close those blood vessels are.
Like this is
I've had
is-
some real hard shits and wiped and saw some blood on the toilet.
yeah,
paper.
but this
That's-
is
I can't even imagine a dick in my ass.
this is what that's the subtext of it. This is what they're marketing on the free channel.
Right, and it's two dudes on a pier fishing and petting each like.
Yeah. Like,
Me and
man, I
Tom.
can't get enough of this.
Me and Tom.
I'm just.
But
gonna
here's
throw
the
this-
thing. Like
They
what
ruined that guy. For
what
me.
causes
that show?
what
ruined
other
it.
yeah.
Ruined it.
What show?
Fucking what's his name?
Oh,
What's
yeah,
his name?
The Last of Us. Yeah, season.
What the hell's that guy's name?
Yeah, Nick Offerman.
Yeah.
They made him gay.
They made him gay.
Oh well.
For what? But here's the thing.
He's
I
a
don't
gay
care.
character in the game.
I don't
He's
care
gay
if you're
character-
gay.
Bill's gay character in the game.
I always thought
Oh,
he was
is he?
gay when he was
Yeah.
Ron Swanson.
See, I didn't play the goddamn.
I didn't
I
either,
didn't
but
play the game.
of course I see him talking about it. Yeah, Bill, the character Bill in the game, is a gay guy.
He's a bit of a bear.
Bill and Frank. Yeah, they're both.
He is a bear.
Yeah,
Frank is the twink.
yeah. Frank's the twink. Bill's the bear.
But why'd you have to ruin that guy? Play it to somebody else. Get
Well,
somebody
it's
else.
because you started identifying
Hold
with
on.
him. You're like,
Yeah,
that's me.
See, but that's the
Look,
thing.
look how he went to Home Depot, started
Yeah.
raiding shit.
Yeah.
Like that's how
That's
I
his
am.
plan.
That's me.
That's been
like,
his plan
oh,
since 2005.
Like you can't trust the government. Stockpile guns. Get ready. Store your rainwater.
This
And
guy's
I'm like,
awesome.
I totally identify with this guy up until the point where he starts sucking another dude's dick, and then I'm
Yeah.
cashed out. I'm like,
Yeah.
well,
But okay, and then if you
I
have
mean-
that, which is fine, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. But
Why does it have to be Nick Offerman?
well, no, not even. But then how they depict it. He's on top of him in the bed. And
well,
there's,
I don't know how
there's a
gays get
sex
at it.
scene.
Yeah.
There is
The
a sex
stink
scene.
in that room, I
The
can only imagine.
stink.
It smelled like sex in there.
And the sweat.
No,
It smelled like
assholes.
Pepsi loads and
Hep-
dirty balls.
Yeah.
So
So what? So other than sodomy, other than anal sodomy, because mouth fucking
Truvada
sodomy
for
too.
prep.
Truvada for prep.
So
I think Frank died of AIDS.
so
Well,
other.
thank God
yeah,
they
he's
had
probably not getting
Truvada.
his prescription in the
Well, he
in the after.
well he was getting pills in a baggie, and they crushed them all up and put them in wine and drank it and then went to bed.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Sorry.
Sleeping pills, probably.
Something.
Well,
I don't
It
know.
wasn't
what
prep
the fuck
pills. It was prepping for the afterlife pills.
Well, they left the window open though.
Huh.
so the stink would go out the window.
That's-
They probably did that
They
when they had
blowed
sex
it.
with each other too.
Yeah.
So
They just-
anyways, what
that
what
window
are,
actually that
what are-
window didn't work.
so what are the pathways though for HIV?
Well, I will tell you I remember this from college because I had to take like a healthy lifestyle
Pee holes
course.
and bloody buttholes.
Yeah. No, but here's
And?
the thing. They say like and needles, sharing needles.
Sharing needles.
Yeah.
So, but here's the thing.
So no matter what you're taking, if you're living a promiscuous lifestyle,
Mhm.
generally speaking, drugs go hand in hand with that.
Yeah.
Now, if you're starting to fucking use and share needles,
Are you saying to take True Body for prep?
no, I'm saying that that's not going to help.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
So, I remember one of the diagrams that you would see in this class is like demographics for people that have AIDS, and it's of course gay men are like way at the top.
Huge.
you
Of
know,
course.
huge. And then they even break it down by race. Like the most is black gay men, then right up there with it, but a little bit lower is white gay men.
Mostly European.
Yeah, and then like way down here is like women.
Yeah.
Where's the Latinos?
Women. I don't know. They didn't, for some reason, they left them out.
They don't get blood
Non-Hispanic whites. So, but then like straight males, it's almost like it's almost zero.
Right.
Your odds of catching AIDS as a straight male
But when you were
is
when
like
we were in
almost
school,
non-existent.
Straight
but,
white male.
but when we were in school, it was like you cough on somebody.
Oh,
See,
I
but
was
here-
terrified of AIDS.
Here's the funny thing: when we were in school growing up, 1 in 5 people had herpes, genital herpes.
Well, that gets
Do
around.
you know what the stat is now? Do you know what the stat is now?
What?
What?
1 in 3.
Yeah,
1 in 3.
it's still getting around.
When we were in school coming up, how many autistic kids did you have down there in Zanesville?
Dude, there were so few and far between. Joe and I were talking about this the other night.
How many did you have? In
Like, let's say 1 in 400.
we had 0.
I had 0.
It was
Yeah, I
1
don't
in
know.
5,000.
Is that what it was?
1 in 5,000.
Yeah, I
when we were growing
never
up.
saw autistic kids.
And now people
But
say
the kids
oh, but you don't understand. Now there's a spectrum.
Yeah, well, you're
So-
casting a wider net.
Casting a wider
You're
net.
casting
now.
a wider net. But basically, like, okay,
You
when I was
spare
talking
the-
to Joe
you're
about this the other
sparing the
night.
rod.
Hold on. When you have a spectrum like that, what
Mm-hmm.
you do is you create a patient. And if you create a patient who has to go through so much therapy and take a certain behavior modification drug, you now have a customer.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're a
That's all.
customer for life. They're hooked.
But you
But-
were saying when you guys were talking
We
about
were talking about this yesterday when I went to go get Chinese food. I was talking to Joe on the phone, and one of the things I mentioned about autism was like, because I joke around about my nephew possibly being autistic because he's very strange, but I think it has more to do with abuse than autism and my sister being on drugs.
basically psychological development
Yes,
is
yeah.
stunted.
Yes. So that being said, like, do you remember that there was like a Bruce Willis movie? I think it was called Mercury Rising. Or
Yeah,
something
Mercury
like,
Rising.
Yeah,
And
like,
Alec Baldwin when he was shooting people in,
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
movie, and then the kid
but not
from
in real life like it
the,
is now.
the other
But-
kid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
was it
kid.
Haley Joel Osment?
Yeah, Haley Joel Osment.
Was it him? I don't remember. But anyway, he played a kid with autism. But the kid with autism was fucked up. I mean, like, he was, like, out there. I see kids now and they're like, here's my son, he's autistic. And I'm like,
Nothing
I mean,
wrong
he
with it.
seems fine to me. I don't know.
Why didn't you,
Like, he's functioning. He's like, well, my son can mow your grass. Like,
Yeah, but
you
he
pay him.
acts
But
out.
he's riding a riding mower.
Well, do you beat him?
Oh, he's got ADHD.
Well, he's
mean, do
ADHD,
you-
he's autistic, he's whatever excuse we can give him so that we don't have to
Well, here's
do
the
anything
problem.
with
It's a
him.
wooden spoon.
Once you change. See, my behavior modification drug was the same as yours growing up, and the same as yours.
Yeah.
It was the back of the hand.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it
Stop
was
doing
wooden
that fucking
spoon.
thing. Yeah, stop
Wooden
doing
spoon.
that fucking thing
I mean,
that you're
wood
doing.
spoons we broke at my house.
Correct
Yeah.
yourself. And what that would do is that it would create a wrinkle in your brain, and then you'd have that memory. And every time you started, rising and getting that, you'd go, oh yeah. Rather than getting smacked down, you bring yourself down. You'd stop, you'd calm down, you go do something else, right?
Yeah.
Now, what happens is instead of learning the lesson, they get the behavior modification drug that deadens them, changes their whole brain chemistry, and now
Yeah.
the kid's in there in a stupor. It's like, oh, I can concentrate when I'm not getting smacked down by a pill.
Yeah.
And then once my pill starts wearing off, I start getting a little antsy.
Yeah, because you put a leash on a fucking tiger, and then the moment you take it off, they're
Behavior modification wasn't a drug; it was a process.
Yeah. Oh, I agree
It's a
completely.
discipline process.
Well, that's one of the things. It's like, and again, I'm not judging people and their children and how they treat their children and
oh
all
yeah,
that shit.
all the time.
But what I'm saying is, like, I feel like one of the big crutches these days is not just autism, but also ADHD. Really? Like, I mean, you can't just fucking stop it.
Yeah.
Like,
discipline.
Well,
My mother
attention
told my
deficit-
teachers.
Yeah.
My mother told my teachers to hit me.
yeah.
I mean,
Tonight, my son, or my daughter's been sick. She had pneumonia, so we've been kind of babying her. And she's got the wrong idea in her head now. 3 days later, she's starting to feel better, that she can just sass us, mouth us, and then my son's seeing it, and he thinks, well, I'll make a power play too. He's 4, and he's trying to boss us around. He's sitting there going, my wife makes chicken and like German noodle spatchel and then like broccoli and sets it on his plate. He's like, no, I'm not eating this. I want a cookie. And I was like, sit down now and eat your food. If you're not going to eat, you're going to go to bed. That's it. And like,
Hey, people are sleeping.
oh, sorry.
You're yelling
Sorry.
at your kids. You're explaining.
I do yell at my children.
I don't give a fuck.
So it got to the point where he starts screaming that he's not going to eat. He's going to his room. No, I'm not going to eat my food. I hate you guys. I'm like, go to your room. So he goes to his room. I go in there and I bring our little paddle and I give him a couple slaps on the back. He's crying. My daughter throws her little fit too because she thinks she needs to be part of this for some reason. I put her in her room and I give her a swat on the butt too. Not right away. I leave, but she's in her room just screaming.
Yeah. But they know
it's not going to fly.
They know,
but
the
they're not
discipline
like
effort-
this.
They know what the discipline effort was for. They
Yeah.
understand the cause of the discipline.
And the effect.
Well,
Yeah.
the effect will come later when they're grown up and they're able to assimilate into society and hold a job and be better people.
Or they're
Well,
me
and
too
that's
and
half
me
the
on fucking
problem.
Twitter and I got to go to prison for abusing my children. Like,
No,
yeah, but here, after we paddle them, we always have a conversation. We're like, look, I don't like doing this, but you need to understand, like, we love you, but you cannot act this way. It is our job to turn you into good people. And the way you're acting right now, you're not being a good person. Like, the way you're acting is rude. You're being mean to everybody around you. That's not acceptable behavior. Like, you don't see me and mommy being mean to each other like that.
Shouldn't you have been able just to have that conversation?
I wish I could.
Can't kids,
Oh, yeah, I wish I could.
She could be a boy
Once they're 8 o'clock.
right?
Oh,
No.
God. So anyway,
All right.
the point we're getting off the rails, but what I will say,
We're not getting off the rails. This is all in the same
It's-
I'm
conversation.
going to cut most of this out.
Well,
So,
whatever. I don't
yep,
care.
specifically cut the part
Cut
about
it out.
cut out the part about how I beat my children. That's
No, leave that part
Duly
in.
noted. No,
So-
nothing incriminating.
no, but here's the point I'm getting at. You just got to work with them and get them where they need to be. And like I see so many people that are like, let me just give them Ritalin.
No.
Dude, my mom put me on Ritalin when I was a kid for a while, and like I turned into a narcoleptic person. I'd like be mid conversation just pass out, and like or I'd be a zombie, a Ritalin zombie, and like it got to the point where like my mom was like, oh, we're not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
So then they had me evaluated somewhere else. Turned out I had like a really high IQ, and like I was just bored in my schoolwork.
No, I was bored too.
And like so I would get hyper.
Yeah, you were super.
And I was
bored.
talkative.
Yeah.
I'm an extroverted person for the most part.
Super bored. Matt was super bored.
What are you talking
He
about?
lit his fucking desk on fire.
Can I tell you my
'Cause I
fire
was
story?
bored.
Yeah.
Send it.
All right. So we lived in McDonald, Ohio. My coach was the chief of police. Real muscular, big fucking legs. So he was also our football coach. No. Even at 12, I was a foot and a half taller than him.
You can tell.
No, so
You can tell.
I don't dig short guys. No, but
You can tell me. You can talk about these things.
anyway, me and
You
my
carry on
buddies.
with your story. I got to
You
hear
know-
story.
For 2 months
No, you stick around
in
for
the
my
summer,
story. Where are you going?
day after
Continue your
day,
story. I'll edit it.
repeatedly.
I'm not going to miss the story. I'm going to get a soda.
So anyway.
Anything while I'm up?
Did you shit your pants?
take a
before you
beer.
got up?
Iron City.
I'm good. Give me a squirt.
Squirt.
So anyway, they had closed the IGA down, and we found a milk crate full of register tapes. Like you know, it used to be that like they would
Yeah, you
have
put
2
the
rolls.
register tape in.
Yeah, they'd have 2 rolls of register
Yeah.
tape, one to keep their
I
records of
got
the
it.
transactions,
I got it.
and one that would print out your receipt.
Track.
Well, yeah, so they had all the ones that had been printed on that they would just keep them. So they had a whole bunch of register tapes that had been printed on. When me and my friends took it back to our clubhouse in the high grass there behind McDonald, Ohio, and it's right between that and that rock quarry where they're always digging there, between McDonald and Girard. So we're out there, and we thought it'd be a great idea, because we had Zippo lighters, and we thought our Zippo lighters were just the coolest fucking things in the world. So we took some of our Zippo fluid and soaked one of these register tapes from IGA, and we stretched it out, and we thought, we're going to light this thing up, and it's just going to woof. Well, it kind of did, but it also caught all the dry grass around it on fire, which quickly spread to the forest. So we run out of there. I immediately ditch my lighter, and I'm like, yeah! like I needed to get rid of the evidence.
Yeah.
And we run inside. They call the police. The police come out, and like the fire chief come out. And they drive down the railroad tracks, and they're spraying to put it all out. They get it out, no big deal. But the neighbor saw me and my friends running out of there, and they tell my mom that it was Matt and Donnie Ray Sparks and some other kid. Yeah, just fucking stupid.
Is that his real name?
Yeah, I'm still friends with him on Facebook.
Still pyro?
Yeah, Donnie Sparks. So,
Apropos.
anyway.
Apropos.
So anyway, we're fucking around out there. We started a little forest fire. They put the forest fire out. The neighbor that's sitting out on his porch. Yeah, this old hippie. He looks like your dad. He's sitting out there with gray hair and a fucking ponytail on his back porch smoking. Sees us come running out of the woods like, just say it was kids from Gerard. So
that's what you said to him?
Yeah. They were like, why is I had one of those Dallas Cowboys pullover hoodies, like the starters.
Yeah.
Like made out of nylon. It was like half melted up the side.
Shit.
You could see the fucking cotton wadding coming out of it.
Did you try to put it out?
I did. I was trying to stomp it out. It was
What team did you have?
Dallas Cowboys, yeah.
You still gay? Still gay?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
So, speaking of gay, I had like the long hair and like the drapes, and it was like half melted up. My eyebrows were singed off.
That happens.
It happens more than you know.
So, I'm running in. I'm like, just say it was kids from Gerard. We get inside. My mom comes over. What happened with that fire? I was like, there are a couple kids from Gerard. How'd you know they were from Gerard? I was like, well, we saw they were running toward Gerard, so, I assumed. They were like, okay.
We assumed. You didn't say like he had a sweatshirt that said Gerard.
No, I just said they were running.
There's a waterborne disease named after Gerard.
Oh, cool.
Giardia.
Giardia.
I don't think that's where it comes from.
So anyway, the neighbor tells my mom.
Disagree.
My mom comes out with the wooden spoon, beats the shit out of me. I was like trying to hide from it, so I caught a couple on top of the fucking head.
Yeah.
So I had like a fucking welt across my face.
And singed hair all in the same.
And singed hair, so I couldn't even hide it with my bangs,
First degree burns.
She's like, you're gonna call the police and tell them you did it. I'm like,
fuck
okay.
that.
So I call him up. I'm like, this is Matthew Dickinson. I need to make a confession. Fucking 911 operator. She's like, okay.
Yeah, if you have an emergency,
They send out like my fucking football coach to my house in uniform.
Oh, good.
And he's like, so, what's the story here, Sarge? Backstory on Sarge is I told him I wanted to be the captain of the football team, but I was a lineman, so they decided I was the sergeant of the football team. Yeah, it was pretty stupid. So, in retrospect, they were making fun of me.
Yes.
Yeah, because Sarge means a turd.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now you know.
Yeah. So anyway, they pretty much ignore the fucking giant welt across my face, my burnt hair. They're like, so what happened? And I was like, we were playing with our lighters. We caught the woods on fire. And he was like, all right. So the rest of the freaking year, I had to run extra laps after every football practice.
Yeah.
See, now.
Yeah.
That wouldn't happen now.
No. They just put them on behavior modification
Drugs.
Well, it turns out I'm autistic. That's
because I got bored. I had to light a fire.
that was my joke.
Yeah.
We had to do genetic testing because we had several miscarriages trying to have a child. So my wife had to do genetic testing. I had to do genetic testing. Turns out that my wife has a blood clotting disorder, and it also turns out that I'm just high functioning retarded.
Things you find out with blood tests.
Yeah.
It's incest.
Yeah, it's probably that.
Product of
incest.
Yeah. Grow up under power lines down the street.
Did I
from a
tell you
paper
the story?
factory, cousins for parents.
That every summer.
Oh no! You're gonna pull out the Bobby Lee.
You can't do a Bobby Lee joke.
I'm just kidding.
I can't. That's fine.
I was kidding. It's in my fucking way. Why you got it over in my land?
Yeah, I got more anyways.
This word's so good. Gives me heartburn sometimes.
Not me. Coca-Cola does. I used to set a dumpster on fire routinely at a place called Jackson School. Defunct. No longer exists. They tore it down. They got a little.
You started fires at other schools too.
Well, that was during school.
During. Yeah. I was recollect.
I believe you were sitting like
I
right in
was
front of
sitting
me.
right in front of you. Catty corner.
Yeah, to the left.
I had that worry about that, but there was another one. She was a big girl.
Keisha.
No. She wasn't in our grade. She was maybe a junior or a senior when we were.
I know who you're talking about. I
Sophomores.
picture her in my head.
Sydney.
Yes.
Sydney something.
Yes.
That her nails
Yes.
were like this long, and I used to have her scratch my neck.
That's good for that.
When the fetish came in.
Yes.
I don't know. Look her up. See if she's on Facebook.
You think it's still her last name? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Probably. She's a good looking girl.
Yeah, she wasn't a bad looking girl.
Anyway,
Stunk.
yeah.
She wasn't a
Showered
bad
once a
looking
week,
girl.
but yeah.
If you're watching this, I apologize.
Yeah, with your stinky ass pussy. Anyway,
Got an Arby's roast beef cheddar down there. Going on.
She wanted to bang.
Yeah.
I was too
Like a
scared. I
box
thought I
of
was going to get
Italian
AIDS.
you're gonna get AIDS. Yeah, because it's how we were taught.
I was terrified of eggs.
Yeah. But then they, anyways, I used to light a dumpster on fire routinely at Jackson School, and I'd sit in the woods and I'd wait for the firemen to put it out. Yeah, just watching, seeing my handiwork like a real pyro arsonist.
So I'm autistic and you're a sociopath?
Yeah, mainly. But I remember the one time I was riding my bike home, and it was after everything, and the police were down the road and taking witness statements, and this one guy goes, he did it, like calling me out. And I got motioned over. I go over there. I'm like, I was going home. I was coming from Life's Field or whatever. And they're like, did you start that fire in that dumpster? And I was like, no, it was fucking Jason Rosenberger.
Is this a real person?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was a normal kid.
We'll throw
we're actually friends for a while.
miscellaneous, somewhat Jewish name.
Well, that's the thing. He wasn't Jewish, but
Was he German?
yeah, redheaded kid.
Yeah.
Redheaded kid. Yeah. So, anyways, in third grade,
The Rosenbergs
He had-
were Jewish
he had
until about
missed-
1940-ish.
he missed a lot of
So
school.
they decided they weren't all of a sudden.
So he missed a lot
They
of
were
school.
one of the dogs.
I'm sorry.
He missed a lot of school, and
Did he?
because he fell on a
You had
fucking.
trouble
No, he
concentrating?
fell down. He fell down the fucking
Did he have
stairs.
trouble concentrating?
He fell down the stairs. Oh, and I guess he landed on a bike
Because there's a
pump,
camp. He can...
and it crushed his ear in, and it made him retarded. And he had to wear like a hard shell mask and stuff. And incidentally, it was the same week his dad got out of the joint. And incidentally, it was also the day before his dad went back to the joint. So it was like, oh yeah, you fell on a bike pump. Yeah.
Oh.
But anyways, it had stricken him retarded, and I blamed it on him. Probably the half dozen times I lit that dumpster on fire.
Fine. I like stories. We can do more stories.
Because in the summer they would clean out the trash from the
Right.
school,
The
throw
school year.
desk and shit in there,
Mhm.
busted desk, and that stuff goes up. Let me tell you, it's a danger.
And an STD story.
What was your MO? Did you leave a calling card?
Just to watch it burn.
You didn't have like a accelerate? Like what was your accelerant?
So back in the day, before Beavis and Butthead, you used to be able to buy those tricked out lighters and stuff from
Yeah, those
Semi Quick Stop and
the
shit.
butane torch ones.
Yeah, so I would just get those, and whatever was in there, I'd just fucking light it, and then I'd jump out of it. Sometimes I'd be in the dumpster, sometimes I'd just throw stuff in. People would dump tires in there and shit.
Oh, there's plenty of paper in the dumpster, sure.